Hello and welcome back to Prodigy. This is the fifth and final strategies video for the upcoming tournament on January 28th called the Prodigy Midwinter Cup. It is only $40 to enter and over $1,300 in cash with some prizes as well. Like for example, first place is $600, second place is $300, and it goes down the tier list from there. First 10 places actually walk with something. So check that out, prodigyminigolf.com or theprodigium.com. And like I said, this is the fifth and final strategies video. The first one and the second one, third one, fourth one, we covered a lot of these holes, but this one in particular in the end is going to cover holes 14, 15, 16, and 17 because hole 18 is not used in the tournament. There's just too much luck involved. I don't want that. So holes 1 through 17 will be used for the tournament. So let's begin. Hole 14. This is my most interesting hole, I think. It's one of my creative holes that I came up with that doesn't involve a putt for your first stroke. So check this out. So the whole idea is you drop this ball in this chute, in this tunnel right here, and when the ball loads up there, we call it, goes up there, and this is actually called a cannon start. There's two holes that have cannon starts, and this is the first one of those. So you're gonna drop the ball here, it's gonna load up there. You use this ring right here, and you pull on the ring, and it lowers that bar. And then if you let go of the pressure on the ring, the bar will go back up. There's a 5-pound weight on the other side, so you actually get some good fling back, and that's the whole idea there, because you do want the ball to roll down this bar when you release it, and you want to let go just at the right time to lift the ball up, drop it in that hole, which puts you in that tunnel to the green. So we'll go over that if I get it, or when I get it, obviously. The second strategy to this is some people just like to lay it up in this hole, and we'll get to that one after I go to the top hole. Then the third option is the final one, where if you don't make it in either of those, the ball goes down here in the chute, and ends up in the first quadrant right here, which happened to me in the first strategies video. So check that out for my strategies on that. But for this one in particular, I want to go over what happens when you get in those holes. So let's see how this works. Drop the ball in the cannon. Ball stops up there. You're not obligated to do anything. Ball is all there, you're good. Now there are other options of releasing the bar before the ball falls in, and you get more speed that way. I'm just not into that. I like to let the ball sit for a second, get myself collected, and then hopefully I can do this first try. Let's see what happens here. Almost. Okay. Well, you saw it's not incredibly difficult. I just redid the string and the weight today, actually, so it's running very smooth today. So yeah, I want to show you what happens. But again, you go in that tube, you end up dropping on the green, but it doesn't necessarily mean it stays on the green. So let me show you a couple more times. Let's see what happens. All right. Drop the whole ball in the cannon. It falls in here, drop, lift, in. Oh, okay. That's a good example. All right, it sits there. So that time it actually hit the cup. So it depends how it flies out of this cup. The cup's pretty wide. So this ball can come out this left side or the right side, depending on that. It can roll in many different directions. It can hit this wall wart, it can hit the back, roll off here, it can go in the hole. But regardless, you're gonna be in this area right here, which is the best scenario. You do wanna be down here. I don't think there's any downsides to being down here. So for example, dropped it there, made it in 2. So that's your hole in 2 strategy, or at least one of them. So let me try this again. Let me drop the ball back in the cannon. And I want to see how many times it actually can, or how many times it takes for it to actually hole in 1. So, ooh, all right, missed one. So actually, while I'm right here, I'm just going to show you this real quick, even though I covered it in the first strategies video. If you're here, it's fine. You want to roll off this back, or bounce off this back wall, bounce off here, leave it down here, and make it stop right here. Because the whole idea is you have about a 6-inch window right here to leave it where you can actually make it in. Even if you're over here, you can bank it off the wall. So there are possibilities beyond getting it in perfect position. But let's just see how it works here. There it is. Okay, there's your window. So that was good speed. Again, this is the window you want. It is right in line. So this could be a good hole in 2. There it is, hole in 2. So that's another hole in 2 strategy. So being down there is not the worst ever. So I actually, no, that was 3. I'm sorry, that was a hole in 3. But regardless, a 3 is good on this hole, but the hole in 2 option was just leaving it on the green. So, all right, let's try this again. Let's try to get that hole in 1. Drop the ball in the cannon, let the ball load, drop about halfway back up, goes in, and almost. All right, let's keep trying. So you don't need to lower this bar all the way. I lower about halfway, allow the ball to progress about halfway down the bar before I relieve the ring, which in turn slides the bar up. So about half and half. So check this out, watch. Half, half, right there. And still not in. But hey, these are all really, really good positions, but let's keep trying. Ooh, hit the cup, hit the corner and died. But again, still not bad. Let's keep trying. All right. Bam. Okay, so that was the 5th time making it onto the green and the first time it went in. So very, very unscientific study would say 1 out of 5 times it goes in the hole. But as you can see, it's not always guaranteed, but it is possible. So, all right, let's go over the other hole and the ideas with this one. So it's probably easier, and you end up shooting out this, hitting here, and you usually end up about right here, which isn't bad. And this is where you actually have to bank it off the back wall, which I will show you. But you end up about right here. Now, like I said earlier, you kind of want to slow the ball down, because let me just show you something here. This is what happens. A lot of people angle it and say, great, okay, it's aimed right at it. And they drop the ball in. Now watch how fast this thing comes down. Yeah, it will not go in that hole. It'll bounce right over. So the whole idea is get that ball loaded, let it sit, because now you got about, you know, a foot or so that the ball traveled and got to stop. So by this time you release it slowly, move this arm down, drop the ball right in, and hopefully it works. Let's try this. All right, you get the ball locked, it's loaded, you just move this down slow, and then get it down to there. There you go, right in. And the ball ends up down there. So let me grab my club, and I'm gonna show you the strategy of hopefully a 2. Let's see what happens here. Your area to get it through is about 4 inches, and it's right here. So I'm gonna wanna bounce it off this back wall, because if you bounce it off this back wall, you're just back in this trap in there, and you actually want the ball to be up here. So the only strategy is off this back wall to bounce it up to hopefully make it in, but at least get it onto the green. It wasn't hard enough, but that's essentially the angle that you wanna take. All right, you get the ball to stop, pull this down very slow, release it in there every single time. That is risk-free. And then hopefully you can hit that bar. That's actually awesome. Let's see how this works out. And in, okay. So, you know, there's your hole in 2 strategy. Again, most of the time you will end up down here, and then you got your shot for 2 to go in that way, which is, you know, a little more difficult, but hopefully you hit this and end up here. There's your 2. But again, that first hole at the top is your most risky option, but you get the best turnout if you land on that green. This second hole, as long as you just release this slow enough and let the ball go into that slowly, you'll make it in. If you try to start down here, that ball is gonna skip right over, just like you saw. So that's up to you. Or just let the ball go and end up in here and try for the 3. So that's all. This hole is actually pretty simple. You just need some practice on that on the cannon. So, all right, let's move on. Hole 15. This is another cannon start, and my second favorite hole. I do like this one. So the idea of this one is to load the ball in the cannon, same as the last hole, and the ball will stop. It'll be pretty much loaded at that end of that pipe down there, as you'll see. Then when you pull this, the teeter-totter swings right and left. So the whole idea is you want to get the ball, in the end, you do want the ball to make it all the way down here into this chute where you'll fly down into the hole. that's in the end, that's what you want. But I'm also gonna go over some other things that happened because again, in that first strategies video, when I did do this hole, I got a pretty good shot in the end. So I didn't really get to show you any of the I don't know, the bad parts of this hole. So let's try this out. All right, again, drop the ball in the cannon. The ball will load, stopped. Okay, I don't have to do anything. I can walk away. The ball will sit there. The moment I pull this ring back, the teeter-totter will start to totter. And at that point, my goal is to hit each of those knobs. If you hit a knob, it'll slow the ball down. So that's what I like to try to do. So let's see how far I can get here. Not very far at all. All right, actually this is a good opportunity to show you this. So I'll definitely show you that in a second, but most likely what will happen is you will fall and you will hit into this area, if not over here. So this is actually worst case scenario in this box right here. At least here you can go off this back wall and you got a good shot to ring it around there. But from here, so you know, from actually up here would be your worst placement, because at that point, I don't even know what you would do. You'd have to do a putt out here and then try to get it down there. But at least from here, I have an angle of hitting this, getting it up over here, and I bet I can make it like in this area. So let's see how close I can get. Now you don't want to hit it too hard, because you hit it too hard, it hops up here, hits this, rolls back down here, and you literally will go right back in here. It is angled in that way. So let's see if I can hit this soft enough to go up over and then down. That easy. It was such a subtle putt to get to here and then in. So that was 3. So that's, you know, if for a horrible beginning off this teeter-totter into here was 1, 2 was to here, 3 was in. That's not that bad, but let's keep trying. I want to show you what happens when you get down here. And again, just like the last hole, it is not guaranteed to get up onto that green, because you got a wall wart here, you got a very thin entrance as well, and you need the right velocity. So let me show you if I can get this ball to at least hit some of these knobs to slow it down a little bit, because really I do like to slow the ball down. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, I did not. But there's another spot, so let's go over this. So what do you do here? This is actually even more difficult. You know, in the end, I guess if you're over here, oh wow. Yeah, you're gonna wanna, let's see, there's probably not enough room. Oh, I don't know, there might be enough room. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit here, send it up over here. I don't think I'm gonna get enough velocity to do this, but let's just see how I would do. Actually, you know what? You know what I am going to try? Forget that. I'm going to try to bank it down straight, hit that bar down there, and see if I can bounce it out far enough. Let's see what happens. Ah, so it hits that. Look at this. Yeah, that's the penalty. That is horrible. So this hole can go really good or really horrible. So that's actually, I want to keep trying these things just to show you what I would do in these situations. Okay, so I'm out here. So what I want to do is hop off this back wall and go up over. And the idea is to not hit this bar here. You want to send it up low enough to try to get it into there. Let's see here. There it is. Perfect. And then from there, it's up to you. So that's another way of getting out of those spots, but let's try this one more time here. Okay, I want it to hit some of these knobs. Yep, there we go. Slowed it down again, and then you got your option to send it off here, right down. Ooh, almost, but that's the idea. If you hit those knobs, you can slow it down enough to get some good control. If you're just trying to whip it around those, it's going to be very difficult, even though you can end up falling off this left side, hitting here, and getting a hole-in-one as well. I've seen that, but let's keep trying this. All right, so you want to aim right for these knobs, get the ball to hit it, and you can even get it to stop if you want, like watch this. See, get the ball almost to stop. Send it up over. Oh, see, all right, look what happened there. Even though I got it down here, it hit this wall and just bounced off all the way down here. So this is what can happen. You work so hard to get down there, but you need the ball to hit here to kind of sit enough to go down here and not bounce off that wall and trigger back out here. So let's keep trying. Now, one thing I'm noticing is if you get this teeter-totter flat as soon as possible, because you want to hit that knob, if you get it flat as soon as possible, you have a direct shot right to the knob to slow it down. It's like, kind of like that, and then slow it down, and then here we go. Yeah, so there's another thing. So yeah, if you go too far, it hits this net and rolls off. So you do want to kind of let it, just after this knob, let it roll down. So this red knob is kind of like your, uh-oh, you went too far. So you want to get it in between here and not onto this net to roll out. Let's keep trying it. There it is. Nice. So yeah, the idea, before this red knob, take a hard left turn right directly onto this carpet and it'll send it down. And actually, this is a really good kind of angle to progress, because if you go off this just a little bit to the left, you're gonna get even more of a left turn to go in. So that's, yeah, that's a hole-in-one on this hole. It's, again, pretty simple. Now, I mean, this thing isn't simple, but the whole idea of the hole is pretty simple. It's avoiding those top bars, avoiding those, and yeah, just in the end, just don't freak out too much. You do have a little cliff here. You don't want to putt it too hard if you know, land up here, but yep, in the end, that's it. So here you go, hole 15. Let's move on to the easiest hole on the course, the shortest hole on the course. And yeah, that first video I did, I made this in 2. It's usually a 1, I'll be honest with you. So let's see if I can just pull this off first try. So I go left tee position here, and you just send it up. You want to kind of go straight for this. Now, if you do end up like ringing this and it sends off this, or if you hit this wall wart and it bounces off, being down here is horrible. You don't want to be down here, because what you have to do, you have to waste a stroke to get the ball to stop here just to have a good shot back, because there's really nothing you can bounce off of to leave it. So in the end, you just want to make it. So let's see if I can just do that. Definitely not, but this definitely happens. Let's see if I can at least save a 2. Yeah, so I saved the 2 from down there, but that was actually best case scenario, because that could have easily just bounced off here and landed down here. But yep, when you roll back, if you don't hit this, sometimes it goes back here, or sometimes it hits this wart and bounces off here, and then that's very unfortunate, because you can't really bank it because there's no wall there. So yeah, I mean, that's all it is to this hole. So let's just say I end up down here. So let me just kind of show you what you can do. I don't even know if there's like a trick shot you can maybe bounce off this and make it in. Like, I don't think that that's even a good strategy, because if you miss that, you're sending the ball out. So from here, you really want to leave the ball kind of where I was after the first putt. So let's just see here. Okay, so, ooh, that could be better, but let's see if I can make it off that wall. All right, that seemed to work out. So that, I mean, I saved a 3 on that from bouncing off here, and I was pretty lucky in the end. So let's keep trying for that hole-in-one though. Pretty sure it won't take many times. Look at that. All right, second time. So yeah, that's it. Hole-in-one. All right, so let's move on to 17, the final hole of the tournament. This one has 3 hole-in-one options, and they are all very difficult to pull off, but not risky at all. So, all right, so number 1, you want to get the ball to, like, so from the tee, you know, obviously you're striking it this way. There is an angled piece up there that you can use to push the ball off this way. So many things that can happen. Number one, you can hit that back wall and have it roll right back down and right out of bounds on your first stroke. You definitely don't want that. So my idea is always to send it to the left. So as long as you send it to the left, you should bank off this wall, bank off that, and send it over here. Sometimes what will happen is you will hit this end of that and it'll actually bounce back. So, it's not foolproof, but sometimes that happens. So you definitely want to watch out for that. And then there's also the other strategy that I'm going to show you off the tee pad to go to the right, because sometimes you can send it up, roll it back down, and make it into here. So the three options for hole-in-ones are, as long as you can get the ball over here, what you can do, you can send it down this, straight in. So that's one. Two, get it in this little chute here. It'll, bang the ball around nice, but it'll get a really good velocity. Send it straight in because it is straight. And then the third option is getting it over here and making it through here. You got a 2-inch window that, as long as you don't hit this bar at all, it'll definitely build enough speed, hit off this back wall, and you should actually make it. So those are the three options. You do have a block right here you want to try to avoid, but sometimes you end up hitting it and then it sits down here, and then your hole-in-two is pretty probable. It's not horrible in the end. So let's just try the best option that I have, which is let's do the right tee pad. Right tee position, I'm going to bank it off this bar first to hit up there and then send it down. So let me just show you what I kind of do and see what happens. So it hit a lot of things, it landed right there. So from here, you got your chance in hole-in-two, but again, I want to keep trying these hole-in-ones. So I'm going to keep trying that and trying to make it into this middle section right here. So yeah, so again, from there, the tee position shouldn't matter too much. If you're trying to make it in here or on the other sides, it's like a difference of a little bit of an angle. The tee position will come into play with another strategy that I have that I'll show you. But for right now, let's just keep trying to get it in this middle chute right here. Ooh, there it is. That was nice. Didn't go right down the middle, but that was actually a really nice middle chute shot. And from here, easy too. So let's keep trying for that one now. Yep, and there's the penalty for banging it off that top bar. So heads up. Ooh, not enough speed. All right, so that's a hole-in-one. So that, I don't know, that was a little lucky. It bounced off this left wall and made it down, so that was good. But let's try for a more purposeful hole-in-one. Ooh, that was nice. Ooh, that was good though. Hopefully I'll get on the next one. Ooh, closer. Yeah, right down the middle. So something I'm noticing, every single time I made it through here, it actually didn't make it clean. It bounced pretty well, but it was high enough to where it starts to get enough momentum because it's not touching anything after a second. And it does, it gets up the ramp pretty easily. So you don't need to clear this one very well, but yeah, so I want to keep trying for this side. I want to show you what this looks like. So let's keep trying it. Yeah, if you hit any part of this at all, you will never get the velocity. You definitely want to clear that pretty clean. So I'm noticing something when I'm trying for that right side, is that from this right tee position, bouncing it off this rail, off the top angled rail, it's hitting this a lot. So I need to make it below it, because from the top, you're not really gonna be able to shoot right down. So I need to angle it lower. So I'm actually gonna start using this left tee pad right here. I'm gonna see if this helps at all. So again, I need a lower trajectory because I keep hitting that top bar. Yes. Okay, yeah, I think this will work. I'll keep trying it this way. Whoops, well, accidentally made that from the left tee position, so I guess you can do it from either the right or the left, but let's keep trying for that right one. Another one, man. Yeah, let's keep trying for that right one. I keep going down the middle, but yeah, it seems like this left tee position might even be better for that middle shoot, because I guess it's, I don't know, maybe it's the angle of it, but regardless, I'm going to keep trying that right one. That was clean. That was real clean. Obviously a little left of the cup, but that's the way you want to do it. Another clean one. Yeah, I gotta get a better angle on it, but yeah, that's definitely the way to go. Ooh. Well, that would be interesting to bounce it off this to go in, but I don't think the angle's there, but I guess it's another possibility. Come on! Maybe off that one. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that could have worked too. But no, keep going. That was an interesting one. Darn. Yeah, there's that. I keep getting the middle one. It seems like the middle's the basic, everyday, good strategy for a hole-in-one, but I want that really difficult one over there, so I'm going to keep trying that right one. You know, coming over to this left, it seems more times than not it's over here than over here. I wonder if it could hit this and bounce off in. So maybe one of these tries will do that. That'd be awesome. But for the most part, it comes back here, hits here, and lands here. But again, not bad. It's actually awesome, but I still want that hole-in-one. Ooh, oh, that would have been awesome. That's what I was talking about earlier, bouncing off this, but it still didn't work. Bam! And that is the course. Those are the best strategies. No, not at all. Those are all the strategies for holes-in-one, hole-in-twos, those kind of things. So yeah, but that was 17. And if you check out all the other videos, you can definitely see all the strategies that I can see, at least on these holes. Maybe you can come up with your own. I would love to hear what you guys are doing, or even take some video of stuff that you're looking at. I did see there's another strategy on this hole that I just would never use, so I don't even want to get into it, but I'll kind of give you a summary in case you want to do it. So what I do notice is some people don't want to use that left bank, and they actually want to come up here and just go off that rail and come back down. The problem with that is there is no angle from any of these tee positions. You can go up and make it to this. So, okay, so if you follow the line down, so from here to up there, you've got about a, I don't know, 2-inch window. And if you follow that line, you're looking at hitting about up there. And in turn, you need an angle that sends up over here. So of course, what does that equal? It equals hitting off this tee pad, hitting off this wall right after this wall wart, or even maybe against it, but against this wall, send it up against that back wall, sending it straight down, clean shot right in. It's just pointless. I don't see the advantage of that when you can just use that bar up there. So you'll never see me doing that, but obviously you can do what you want. But yeah, that's the course. So check it out. Again, this is the strategies video for the tournament coming up January 28th. It is only $40 to enter. And well over $1,300, not well over, but it is over $1,300 in cash, and then some prizes from our sponsors. So definitely check that out. Like I said, it is $40 to enter, but you can actually come and watch for free. So shoot me an email if you have any questions. Go to the website prodigyminigolf.com, and you can find my email there. Just again, just contact me if you want to come, or just show up. But all the info is pretty much just going out to the registrants, so you won't know what time. But again, email me if you want to come, and I'll get you all the information for that. So again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Check out, there's going to be a couple more videos coming up, not strategy videos, but I want to play with some of my friends, do some 4-player action here, because a lot of these strategies, as I'm showing them to you, it's just me doing them. So how do you place those when you're playing against somebody? So, if you're way in the lead, maybe you want to take the more conservative approach, or if you're behind, you want to take the more risky stuff. So I'm gonna play against some people and show you that. So there's the versus. There's also a couple other modes to this course. So there's the versus mode. There's also the battle mode, what I want to show everybody. And then also there's the new co-op mode, where you work with people to try to accomplish. There's 7 objectives on every hole that you have to accomplish, and everyone has to accomplish them before their 7th max putt, or else, that's there's different levels to the game. The most difficult part of the game is if you get above a 7, you're out of the game, so you can't even play anymore. So you have to get to the end, hole 17, because 18 is not really used. Actually, 18 is, I think, is the boss, but 17 holes you have to get through without getting a 7 or above a 7, and then you can kind of keep progressing. But again, there are objectives to get, and it matters how many objectives you end up getting. Gives you the score for the hole. But anyways, yeah. So check that out. Come on by. And that's about it. Thanks so much, you guys. See you then.